growth. Our focus is growth, which creates opportunity, which attracts amazing individuals and allows us to try new things. Every time we open a new location, we try something new. And if it's a good idea and it takes off, we go back and replicate it in old locations.
Can you grow too much?
Yes, for sure.
Where is that point for you?
We're going to push the boundaries and see how far we can take that. As long as we're out of debt, I'm not afraid.
This episode is brought to you by Restaurant Systems Pro.
With excitement, allow me to introduce to you today's guests, CEO and COO, Damian Otero and Miguel Hernandez. My men, are you feeling unstoppable today?
Oh yeah, like always.
Yes. So I know you two are unstoppable. You have to answer the question, Damian. Go for it. Are you feeling unstoppable?
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Oh yeah, you are.
Always.
So I was actually here a year and a half ago. You guys were at 2 locations. That was episode 945. You have since scaled to 8 locations. How many people did you have employed at 2 locations?
As of right now, roughly about 350.
And how about a year and a half ago?
Well, a year and a half ago, when we did our episode 945, we did it in our 3rd location that we were about to open because we were under construction,
right.
If you remember.
Yes, I do.
At that time, 2022, I think we did it that year about $6 million in revenue. This year, we are projecting 32 to 35 in revenue, depending on how soon we open our next 2 locations. We're under construction. And I remember in that episode that we said in the past year, we have grown 1,000% ever since the acquisition of Rreal Tacos. So that was a 1,000% growth as soon as we started and did the first episode. And I was just running the numbers. I think now we had another 400+% growth.
That's wild.
It has been insane. It has been crazy. It's just an amazing learning experience, trying to run a company that has so much growth.
Yeah, and I'm stoked to be back here. And this is really a glimpse of like what I hope to do in the future. Being able to not just get new people on the show, but develop existing relationships and picking up the story where we left off and going even deeper, getting even more granular. And I know you guys are cool about talking about numbers, which I'm really excited about. So I can't wait to dive into that. And we're also going to bring Miguel into the story too, and to get your perspective and what it's been like, and setting you up to share a success quote or mantra, Miguel, because the last time Damian launched us off. So what do you have for us?
Man, my success mantra is something that I share very passionately with Damian. Our philosophy behind the business is, create an opportunity big enough for everybody to get a piece of the action.
Ooh, dive into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business is tough, man. But it doesn't have to be that way. All you have to do is, I believe, is get everybody focused on one goal and one task at hand, and just be consistent and be intentional with what it is that you're doing. Some days are easier than others, but when everybody sees the end goal, you're gonna either get there faster, or you're gonna have fun on the way over there.
Yeah. Did you want to chime in?
Yeah, just creating super big opportunity where other people's dreams can be a part of it as well. And having a vision.
Yeah. And I hope we get to dive into that today, because I know, a big part of what you guys do is you give people the opportunity to buy equity in new restaurants that are opening.
Yes.
We kind of scratched the surface on that last time. So I'm hoping that we kind of, go deeper into that. But where does it make sense to start picking up the story where we left off? I think going back a year and a half.
We opened that 3rd one a couple of weeks after our interview. We realized we were becoming a brand once we did that. Once we opened that 3rd location, because people were walking in since day one. Yeah. And then after that, we said, okay, that is the game plan. Taking acquisitions of 2nd gen, which we can talk about real estate and acquiring locations.
Yeah, that's on my list of things to talk about for sure.
The craziest one, our location number 6, we bought it for $600,000 on Instagram. So that was the through Instagram. That was the craziest
was it like
one.
A PayPal deal?
Almost. That's what it seemed
Venmo
like.
me.
And we realized, oh my God, it's becoming a brand. So we started bringing, more legit people to work with us, and people that want to grow. We started getting partnerships and so on. And I'm very open about the numbers, because this is a growing experience for us. And I think a lot of other restaurant entrepreneurs can learn from some things that we're doing in the good side, the bad side, our mistakes and so on. We are a high growth company. We are still very broke. We have no money, but we have no debt. So we're trying to grow day by day, making it happen.
Putting it right back into assets.
Yeah, all of it. There's
So
nothing left.
What is your percent profit? Is it 0?
Well, it depends how you look at it. No, store level numbers, we have some stores in the 35s
Okay.
at store level, some other stores in the 20s. So
I mean, even that low side is a good number.
the business is very, very healthy. Yes.
Yeah. So when you're looking, you said second generation locations,
The
right?
best. For us, the best.
So meaning it was a brand, somebody went in there and it didn't work out, and you're buying the assets. Do you buy or rent? Like, what's going on there?
No, we just rent.
Okay.
It's very, very hard to find a deal where you can buy the real estate, because now you're playing the real estate game plus the restaurant game. For those two to mesh and have a perfect in the middle, it'll be very hard. There is a couple of different ways of finding real estate for restaurants in what we do is second gen. One of them is finding someone who's selling a distressed business. It could be a sushi place, breakfast place, whatever place, and you convert it into your own concept, right? In the state of Georgia right now, that's going to cost you anywhere from $100 to $350K to find something a little bit distressed that you can come in and, but you're going to have to spend some money. For example, we're building one in Buckhead right now, and that one is about 2,400 square feet. And that one in construction alone, we have done, the key money was 200. In construction alone, we are already at 450. It's probably going to be like 550 just in construction. But we're doing it so quick. Whereas if you're doing a new build from zero, it's going to take you about 18 months, which we're doing right now, and it's terrible and it sucks. So that's one way of doing it, finding old locations that are for sale. The good and the bad is you do get an old lease, which you take over the old lease. So you do have way cheaper terms, because leases before 2020 were a lot cheaper.
Good point. Yeah.
Sometimes half off. The bad is that you do get terms that the last owner negotiated that maybe you don't want.
Yeah, maybe they weren't really good at negotiating terms.
Yeah, maybe they had percentage rent or something. You never know. And then the other way of doing it is you find very nice locations that you really want. Wow, this is a perfect corner unit in little downtown, and I love it. And it's a newer one. And you literally stalk the owner until you find him and ask him if they want to sell. And both options are cheaper than doing a brand new build.
What are some clues that they might want to sell? Like, are you, like, if it's a clear, like, say, like, Del Bar was on a corner of a restaurant, you're not going to approach Faraz Gar because you know he's not going anywhere.
No, you just look at their Google and you're like, well, they're getting one review every 4 hours.
Okay.
That means they're very
So you're
packed.
looking for, like, signs of distress.
Yes, but sometimes you find they're not for sale. Half of the deals we have done, the companies were not for sale. We just Googled the owner and approached them, and they agreed to sell.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe they're thinking about it. If you can beat them to the punch, if they've lost the romance, if they're not into it anymore, and if you can just put it out there, if you can manifest the reality you're looking for by just, giving a little nudge.
Yes, I mean, sometimes I stalk the owners where I find the name of the company, the website, then I find their name, and I email their name at the website in different variations.
I do that all the time.
Yes.
When it's usually their first name followed by their domain.com, almost like 80% of the time.
For us, it's been much easier than building from scratch, which, it can take a year or 18 months, and it's a big headache.
So if your second location, you're opening your third location in November of 2022.
We've done one every 3 months, every 4 months.
Okay. What has been like the biggest struggle for you in the past year and a half opening restaurants?
Well, the biggest struggle has been, I don't think it's very complicated to the restaurant business. If you think about it, it's hard, but it's simple. People want good service, good food, good drinks, a vibe. So you know what the customer wants. So it's not super complicated. I don't think it's super complicated to run a restaurant company either. What makes it very hard is growth. Like when you're growing so quick, nothing is stable.
Right.
Day by day, and people are moving from one location to another location and training and this.
Well, that's the biggest thing that gets people in trouble is they catch a little bit of foothold, right? They get some traction. They're like, oh, we gotta go while the going's good, right?
Yeah.
And then they go out of control because they get too aggressive. How have you been able to combat that?
Not being in debt.
Okay.
So
cash flow determines your growth.
Yes. So all the mistakes that we make, we still make them with our own cash, so we can sleep at night.
Yeah.
So, and we make mistakes every single day.
So I like to say cash flow and people determine growth. Have you run into an issue where you're growing too fast, where you don't have the I guess not the bench, but you know what I'm saying, like the
Yes.
people to fill those roles?
Yes. One day we have a little bit extra money, like a few extra bucks. So we're like, oh, let's do something. And the day after, we don't have enough people. So it's finding that perfect balance.
Yeah. What is your mission statement?
Well, with my mission statement,
Do you have like a mission, like a purpose, a mission statement, core values, things like this?
creating opportunities is it's the main one.
I mean, that's what I thought it was, but I never asked specifically, what is your mission statement? What is your purpose? You know, and it's clear to me that that's what it is.
Well, first of all, everybody that we work with, we love the industry. We are obsessed with our brand, with the industry. We work 7 days a week. And we always say we want to be rich as fuck with our best friends.
Yeah.
And we get to do it in something that we are obsessed with and something that we love. Like there's nothing we want to do other than this. Nothing is more fun than waking up and going and working in the Rreal Tacos project. So I don't know.
I love that. Well, something that came out a couple times the first time we spoke is that you're not like you are creating opportunity for a lot of second generation Latino individuals. And I think that is a market that doesn't have as much opportunity as others, right? And when you can create, this is why I say the restaurant industry has the ability to change the world. Because if we can start injecting these values, sharing your values, and if more operators across the country can start making it about others and creating opportunity for others, then you're lifting up these people and they're turning around and it ripples out. And if every restaurant across what other industry has as much influence as a restaurant, where we're in all these different communities, we have the ability to lift up these communities and to provide opportunity for people. And when you lift up a person, they lift up their community. And you guys are doing that. It's so obvious. And I just want to bring a ton of attention to it.
We're trying 100%. Yeah, we have a partnership structure where there's 5 different partners per location. And now we have over 18 partners. And once we do Bucket, we're going to have more. As we keep adding locations, and we pay distributions of those profits every single month. So there's a lot of money being paid out every single month, and it's very motivating for ourselves and for the team.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was something along the lines that we want to create a legacy for second generation individuals or something like that.
Probably, yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. That is the mindset to have, you know? I mean, I'm only 3rd generation Italian, and our people had to go through the same thing 100 years ago, you know? And you got to get this generational wealth going, and you got to create opportunity for people if we're going to make change.
Yeah.
It's huge. So I just want to bring that back to the surface because I love what you guys are doing. So back to the idea of locations. So you're looking for second generation. What about communities? What kind of communities? Have you figured out what demographics your concept do well with?
Yeah, we're 8 locations in now, and we're still trying to figure that out. It sounds crazy, but even at 8 locations, you don't know 100% who
you're only 3 years in, though. You only know until you know. You know. So sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
Every location behaves different in different parts of town. Some areas are more heavy on the weekends. Some are just Monday through Friday. Some do more liquor. Some do less. We're trying everything right now. We're all over. Our goal is to be all over Georgia and understand every single demographic.
Any promising patterns?
Massive
Clues?
Population. A lot of people.
When I first spoke to you, you said that you wanted to open 3 Rreal Tacos in every city.
I wanted to target cities that could hold 3 units.
That was your plan for growth. You're still in Atlanta, though.
We're still in Atlanta. We're going to keep doing Atlanta.
Were you hoping to be in different cities by this point?
No, because if we wanted to be multi-city right now, we would be looking for a big valuation, and we don't really care right now.
I think you're doing the right thing, honestly.
We want to have the piggy bank. We want to build Atlanta. We're stable. We're not broke anymore. We can afford to go out of state, and we cannot afford it right now.
Well, I mean, I think I'm all for the approach of centrifugal circles, where you start here and you just go a little bit further out, to the point where you get amazing brand recognition in a single community, and you hit hard at that community to the point where people leave your community and they miss you.
Yes.
And then when you go to wherever they went, they're like, oh, fuck yeah, there's a Real Tacos here now. Like, owning a community and getting that, like, that brand loyalty in one market, I think hits so much harder than trying to spread yourself out.
Yes, I was just today in my house when I was leaving in the elevator. One person, comes into the elevator. Oh, I love Real Tacos. And the elevator goes down to the next floor, and another person comes in. Oh, I love Real Tacos. And I was like, holy shit, 2 people just recognized our brand in the same
awesome.
elevator. This is crazy.
Yeah, but if you spread it out, it's not, you don't hit the same way.
Exactly.
You don't get
yeah.
that loyalty like
Right.
you do. So you brought Miguel on today. He's been very quiet over here.
He actually talks. I never talk. He's the one that does all the talking
Why are
every
you being
single
so
day.
quiet, Miguel?
I love listening to everything that I already know, but it's pretty cool to hear this guy talk, man. I mean, he's the CEO for a reason. He's got the vision, and I've been hanging out with this guy for almost 4 years now, and it's been pretty cool to just kind of see everything come to fruition. Like he called it. Everything that we said that we're doing right now, it happened just like it was supposed to happen, and even better.
You've been around since day one, correct?
I reached out to Damian back in 2020. And I wanted to do my own thing, and he helped me with a lease negotiation for a restaurant that was second gen, and then he ended up like doing it with me, and we opened up the business together. And he said, "I'll work for free. I just want to try this marketing thing and the second gen thing." And
Wait, so you opened your own restaurant, like not related to Real Tacos?
I started, in the restaurant business May of 2020.
Okay.
I didn't have any experience. That's why I think that our opportunity is very unique, because the cost of entry is it's very minimal. You got to just show up and just work really damn hard. And then if you do that after a year, you get the chance to do something that not a lot of people get a chance to do, which is to own a piece of a growing business. And all you have to do is just
Sweat
trust
equity,
us.
right?
Yeah. So I reached out to Damian, and then he helped me with my first restaurant. And I thought the route to go to was, you take some money and then you go open something and you build it from scratch. And in my head, I thought I was going to lay concrete. And that wasn't the route I went, and we've been doing second gen ever since.
So your name came up in the first episode. We gave you a nod, and you were doing the same. You guys were doing the same things, ironically, in 2 different markets. You were in Texas, you were in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were both selling
Like
products out of
services,
kiosks. So your sales. Yeah, one thing I love about the two of you and the culture you bring, and this is kind of re-listening to the episode that we published together, Damian, kind of resurfaced this thought of like when you said that it's so much easier to find people and to get like employees in a restaurant. I was like, wait, what? Like you literally like, I thought I heard you wrong when you said that, but you were talking about sales and how aggressive sales is. And the both of you have this background in sales. When you think about it, we are in sales. Like the restaurant industry, at the end of the day, we're selling literally food, but more than that, we're selling a culture and a vision to our people of what's possible. And I think that's one of your 2 strengths. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's an experience. Definitely.
Yeah.
One thing that I realized whenever I first met Damian was that we had a similar vision, but we were complete opposites. Everything that he likes to do, I hate to do. Like, I'm not a big fan of construction. I'll get my hands dirty, but I'm not the best foreman. And
I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I do my best to keep up, but and it turns out that I like to do everything that maybe he's not so fond of. So I believe I heard this definition of management. So a good manager is going to identify what somebody's good at and create a position where they can explore their talents. And then, by doing so, you're going to be able to really find another gear out of a person. Bad management is getting somebody to do something that they don't necessarily like to do. Yeah, they're going to do their job. You're paying them to do their job.
You're managing strengths and interests,
100%.
right? And you're getting to know people, and you're finding vertical for like putting people on the right seat. So like you can't just be like, okay, you're hired, go do this job. It's like you're hired, do this job for now, but like, what do you want to do?
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. So when we realized that we were complete opposites, and he loves to do the real estate side of it and lease negotiations and the numbers, the charts, and I love to deal with the people.
Yeah.
We said, okay, there's some chemistry here. Let's see how far we can take this.
So what have you learned about how to deal with people?
you never stop learning. You get a chance to just learn every single day. I mean, I think one of the big things that I've learned personally is knowing when to step out of a position. At this moment, I mean, we have over 300 people that work with us. They're our staff, they're our team members. They work side by side with us. They're not employees, right? So not treating people like they're employees and making them understand that everybody here has an opportunity to grow. And you may be a dishwasher right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't be the next kitchen partner, right? Not just a manager. So asking questions and then listening to people as well.
What does that look like? Like, do you create ritual routine around this? Like, how do you make sure you're learning about your people every day?
One of the things that we started doing a few months ago, every Monday and now every Tuesday, we have these weekly meetings with our staff. And, we meet with our, most of the times with our managers in every location. That's going to be our kitchen manager, bar manager, front of the house manager, myself and our directors of operation, Leo, that's been with us since location number 1. And also Wilson, who's our VP of operations. He's here listening to the podcast right now. We make an effort to listen to what's going on in the restaurant, because whenever you manage from a bird's eye view, there's only so many things that you can see and you can hear. So when you're inside of the restaurants every single week, you're able to kind of, pinpoint certain problems that maybe would have taken you weeks to get on top of. So by being in the restaurants every single week, I know that every Monday and every Tuesday we make our rounds. We call it the little mini taco rally.
Is there like a structure to that conversation?
Oh, yeah.
Like what does that structure look?
So the structure is we compare the week's prior sales. So, we compare week per week. And then for the locations that have been around for almost a year, we can compare same week last year. And we can see a difference in sales.
We're totally casual here, by the way. Do you need to get a word out? Okay.
No.
I see you sign languaging. I'm like, just talk up. It's all good.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to write down some notes as Miguel speaks. And then I'm going to recap. Oh, this has changed the game for us. And this has changed the game. And this.
Got it. We got notepads. Thank you, my friend.
So,
I remember you from the last time I was here. Nice to meet you. And what's your name again? Wilson. That's right. You just said that. Nice to see you again.
Yeah. So we go over, so obviously the sales and then also, cost of goods, labor, you try to get the prime cost.
So the numbers.
Yeah.
You're basically looking at your key performance indicators. So you're looking at the scorecard, right?
100%.
Up or down, why or why not?
Yeah. And there's always a reason why.
So once you go over numbers, what's next?
Housekeeping stuff. It could be something as simple as hey, the toilet dispenser, the paper dispenser is not working.
So you're discussing issues. You're
100%.
Everyone's like, what issues do you have? You're making lists of issues.
Yeah. And it's different whenever, if you have a front of the house manager being attentive to what's going on the floor, they're going to do their best to keep up with what's going on. But when you have 8 different sets of eyes, I mean, sometimes the issue might get resolved by the bar manager or the kitchen manager or one of us, right then and there. So we try to identify as many problems or many issues that are going on currently before they become problems. All right, so it's putting out fires when you start seeing the smoke signals and then seeing how many people can actually put these things out before they become issues.
And then what happens once you've laid out all the issues and you've kind of brainstormed what to do? What happens next?
We take action immediately. There's some things that are mentioned in that meeting. These meetings are 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes long, and there's some issues that get resolved right then and there.
Yeah,
right? And it's cool to see that.
And what happens? What about the things that can't be resolved? I bet I'm sorry, my ADD is on fire. I'm staring at a helicopter in the mirror behind you.
No worries.
Anyway, so what happens once you identify all the issues and you resolve the ones you can? What happens if they can't be resolved in that moment? Where does the issue go after that?
Well, we're gonna just try to find a solution. I mean, we all look at each other and say, okay, who is knowledgeable in plumbing? And then if Damian just happens to be there, by the time that we end that meeting, if he can get his hands in there and do something with plumbing, we'll do it. If Wilson is around and he can get a hold of somebody that can help us resolve something going on with the AC, or maybe if we're troubleshooting something with a POS system, right? Wilson's our tech guy. He's installed every single POS system that we have in every one of the restaurants, so he knows where the Ethernet cables are. He knows how to reset everything. So
is everybody getting their own individual to-do list essentially? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, and there's some weeks where everybody's to-do list is not that big, but then there come moments where hey, maybe your attention is required a lot more in this side of town or at this restaurant, or maybe we should focus on the north for the next week or two. There's a lot of training going on. There's a lot of hiring going on. So there's a lot of development that we have to do. So, Leo, our VP of operations, might spend a little bit more time with some of the operations that we have up north, right? Or sometimes, our attention is going to be required a lot more, inside of the city. So those meetings help us out a lot.
Okay. Do you know that are you aware that you just described the level 10 EOS model for meetings?
Oh, I wasn't aware of
How many levels are there?
Yeah.
Well, this is called the level 10 meeting. It's like the best level meeting. Like, so I'm a huge fan of EOS Traction. I don't know if you've heard of the book,
Yes.
Gino Wickman.
You interview the...
Yeah. So I'm trying to get a full house and getting all the Traction authors on the show. I'm actually talking to Mark Winters, based in Dallas. We're not going to be able to connect on this road trip, but he wrote Rocket Fuel, and like I am such a fanboy of EOS. And but what they do, they follow exactly that order. So it starts with just like, hey, like share some good news personally and professionally. So like they break the ice to like make it human, right? Mm-hmm. And then they get into numbers and they list they cover all the KPIs. And then as issues are coming up, they're saying drop it down, drop it down, drop it down. And like, are there any customer issues? Are there any vendor issues? Are there whatever they might be? Drop it down until you have this list of issues. Then you start going through the issues, and then you start talking about before you even do that, you go through everybody's rock review, and everybody's has these like quarterly rocks. Their goal for the quarter. Are you on track or off track? Off track, drop it down. So it's just like this meeting where they get together and they just cover all these issues, and they get together and they brainstorm it, and they try to resolve the issue in that moment. And then whatever can't be resolved in that moment becomes the to-do list for the next week. And then when you come back, hopefully it's no longer an issue.
You just described what he does in the meeting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love it. And they go over the level 10 meeting in EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, the book Traction. Love that organization. Super fanboy. If you're listening to this, go get that book Traction and do exactly what Rreal Tacos is doing every week. It's a process for growth, and it's also a process to get to know your people.
Yeah, most definitely. And the ultimate goal is to build morale in those meetings.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't have a lot of chance to interact with the managers for more than 30, 40 minutes because, during any given time when they're on the floor, they're doing something, and they're doing something very productive. So, in maybe in situations where there may be a restaurant that needs a little bit more of our help and our attention, the goal is just to build everyone's morale. And
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you please.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the ones that are doing what they need to do, we pick on them a little bit, but it's like a little tough love. Right?
Yeah, it's just you need that sometimes, a little jab here and there to keep people in line. I forgot what I was going to ask you, but I think in terms of, I feel like we can pivot back over to Damian, because you kind of spelled out your clear lanes, right? So Damian, you're more I don't want to say like you like to focus on project management, new development, looking at markets, real estate, purchasing different, like that's your focus is growth.
Numbers growth, yeah.
Yeah, like physical, tangible growth of assets, where your focus is more on the relationship growth, physical relation, like providing opportunity for people. And do you decide like who goes to what location and stuff like that?
No, we all talking amongst each other, and I just try to give as much information as to what people want and what they're looking for, and seeing if they're ready. And then I speak it over with the team, and then we all create an action plan for that person's development.
So what is in your mind as a COO? Because there's the chief. You mentioned there's a director of operations, a DOO. You have a CEO. I think you had a president of operations too.
A VP of operations. That's Wilson. I'm a human.
What does everybody do?
I'm a punching bag. Our roles change all the time, but like anything with operations, if something's like messing up, then I try to take it to the gut, or I try to take the brunt of it. That can be just listening to people.
I mean, we've already talked about a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about today. Like, I mean, we're nowhere near the end of the conversation, but I think now's a good time to take a break to thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back to kind of let you guys steer the ship and talk about what you want to talk about.
We have to interrupt today's episode to let you know that every second and fourth Thursday of the month at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, Restaurant Systems Pro CEO Fred Langley is going live to teach you everything you need to know to run a profitable restaurant from soup to nuts. All you got to do is click the link below.
All right, we're back, and there's so much that we can discuss, but like, you guys mentioned you wanted me to come back out here. There's a lot of stuff that has happened, and when you reached out to me, I was excited because I knew the first interview was so good, and I knew a lot has happened in a short period of time. But like, what are the things that you're most excited about bringing to the conversation?
Things that we are slowly learning. I mean, we're basically a bunch of kids with a big dream, right?
Yeah.
And we're pushing the boundaries every single day.
You're 32?
31.
31, and you're
32.
32?
And our goal is to get to 100 million in revenue within a driving distance. We don't want to live flying every single day.
So is that a 5-hour drive?
That's Florida and North Carolina south.
So the
and
southeast.
Tennessee. Southeast. Keep it simple. Grow the brand. Acquired a couple of few brands out there. So we're learning a lot, and we figured that there's some good nuggets of information we can drop that might be useful for somebody opening their second location that eventually is going to turn into a chain. Who knows?
So let's list the things that you've learned without getting into any detail, just to kind of bring them to the surface, and we can kind of drill down once we have them laid out. So what were those big things? If we could just make a list right now.
Oh, well, I was just writing down as Miguel was speaking. A couple of things that have changed our operation after 5 units, doing the Monday meetings with every single GM, right? Another thing that has changed the way our people perform is having a partnership program where people can own equity in their location, and some people have multiple locations in equity, which it could be an extra 40, 50, 60, or an extra $100,000 a year for these people.
Right.
Not only that, we're not selling the company, but let's say we do 10, 20 years from now, everybody's getting paid.
Nice. I love that. What else? Keep going down the idea of listing things, because I want to drill down on all this stuff.
Now we started implementing maybe 3-4 months ago What the Fuck Wednesdays. That's when we all get together in this table, all the directors in the company and so on, and we discuss what the fuck has been going on for the past 7 days. That way every department can have an update.
Okay.
Like the catering department has an update, and the accounting department has an update, and marketing has an update. So everybody's updated in this office, and we know what department is doing what. So that gives us better communication, which makes us have a better culture in the company.
Miguel, what about you? Anything that's itching to discuss?
No, I mean, it's pretty much hitting all those. We're learning to have more communication. We're learning to get better at execution. We're learning the methodical process of proper planning, and that is everything. If you plan the right way, you minimize errors. There's still going to be errors, but you can foresee errors in the future.
Has tech stack evolved in the past?
Yes.
Year and a
You
half?
want to check out the tech right now? Or later?
Yeah, we can make a list. I would love to dive into that too. And what about marketing?
Marketing, we're still doing the usual, mostly social media, a lot of new foodies that we use, ads and...
All right, so we have our list of things to talk about. We're going to talk about Monday meetings with GMs. We already kind of talked about that a little bit.
We did that one.
Partnership program, I would love to get into that. What the fuck Wednesdays, I would love to get into what that looks like. Sorry, I should say WTF Wednesdays. I apologize. Proper planning, and I want to get into your tech stack and how your marketing has changed, because I know you guys are super sharp marketers. So partnership program. So when I was here last, you had the option for people to buy in, and there was a
share it all the way. When you asked about it,
I was pushing, and you were kind of reserved. I think you were kind of like
It was we were starting it, and we were trying to see what was going to be the outcome of it. Basically, the way it works for us is each location has 5 partners. It could be bar managers, it could be chefs, it could be GMs, assistant GMs. It could be somebody from the office. So 10% of each location is given out in equity to those top performers. 5 people, 2.
So if you fill one of those positions, one of those roles, you instantly get access to profit sharing is what I'm hearing from you.
Yes.
Got it.
Not only that, you on paper own that equity, which obviously...
So you're giving them equity, and it's not just you're sharing in the cash flow profit, but you're actually getting equity in the value of that business.
Yes. Obviously, you cannot turn around and sell it.
Right.
It's not transferable in that sense, unless we do have an acquisition event one day.
Yes. Okay, so this is the stuff I'm curious about, is a lot of people get worried about doing profit sharing and sharing equity because... you give somebody equity and then they decide that I'm not really into it anymore, but I'm going to hang on to my equity. I'm not going to carry my weight.
We haven't seen that yet. And it's not a huge amount of equity. It's a small amount of equity per location. And if you really perform at that first location, the team is going to call you and say, hey, you're going to be the chef at our new location. And if you perform there, you're going to be a partner as well. And if you do great there might be a huge opportunity maybe in Florida or maybe in a different state.
So you're giving them 2% at one of those 5 positions, but you're also giving them the option to give their own money to the cause. They can buy more.
We value each restaurant at $500,000.
Okay.
Roughly, we're spending right now $750 or so per location. So once the first two, let's say 200, 250 is paid back, and we're flat at 500. Hey, you can buy. You have been doing great. You've been with us for over a year. That's one of the qualifications, and you can buy in. We also have a salary cap of $100K. So we have a lot of people at that salary cap right now, and the way they can make more money is by performing and being a partner. And you can ask a lot of the partners. We're talking to Leo. I'm like, Leo, what's better, getting a partnership check or a payroll check? It's like partnership check, even if it's smaller or bigger or whatever that was that month. It's so exciting to get a check and you find out how much it is for that month.
And when you say partner, you're using that interchangeably with one of these 5 people at each location.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, we're going to say.
And not every location is filled up. Some locations only have 3 partners, so there's 2 left.
That was my next question. What happens if you have somebody who is like showing tons of promise, like they're on deck, right? Like there's clearly future for them within the organization. They're on deck. Maybe they inherited $100,000 from grandma or something, and they're like, well, I want to invest. Are they able to make an investment?
No.
Okay.
They're investing through sweat equity, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, a lot of people are in line. Not every location is filled, so there's also motivation left on the table for everybody who's still up there and up and coming in our company.
Fill the roles.
Exactly, and then our job is to keep growing, to fulfill those people that want to be partners with us, and eventually, we'll love to have a team that is making a lot of money and has equity, and that'd be amazing.
So why do you think people steer away from this model? Where was your inspiration for this model?
Well, it was the only way I could make my old business work. It was through partnerships, and I liked it. And that was my retail business 10 years ago. And like I said, it just works. If everybody makes money, it's just more fun.
Yeah, and there's more loyalty, and why do you think people avoid this? Why is there such like a negative, scary,
I don't know.
Error on this?
Honestly, I don't know. I've been in the industry for like 4 years now, so I'm not very familiar how other partnerships work in other restaurant chains. I would love to have 100 partners. I don't know why they avoid it. I don't know if it's maybe some ego, or maybe the business is not. Also, let's be honest, you cannot just open up a partnership if the business is not very profitable. Right. It has to be making money.
I think that's definitely a part of it, where the business model has been kind of shitty for the longest time. We just kind of cookie cutter, rinse and repeat the same business model because it's all we know how to do. And also, I don't know, you think about some of these like really successful restaurants that get a lot of accolades, and then you start like opening into their profit and loss, and you realize they're not making any money because their labor is through the roof and their cost of goods are through the roof. And it's just like from the outside looking in, they look super successful because that's the facade they put off. But when you open the books, they might be making 5% if they're lucky, or 10% if they're lucky.
And the risk is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean risk? Risk of...
If your company is running a 5% profit, and you're doing $10 million a year, and you're only taking $500K, that's a big risk.
Right.
All those leases and your personal guarantees and this and that.
Yeah. So your inspiration for this was through your previous businesses and sales.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to learn anywhere about how to set up these apartments? Like, are you getting lawyers involved? Like, what are the legal things?
Lawyers there's a partnership agreement done by lawyers. Yeah, of course. But no, I just learned it by doing business, and I've been obsessed my whole life with business. Anything business. Every podcast I listen to is business. Yeah. Like everything, I just love it. I started my first business when I was 20. And ever since then.
What can you teach us about partnership agreements that are maybe elements of a partnership agreement that should be there to recreate what you're doing?
Vision. Definitely there has to be money. You're not going to make partners who are just going to have a title of partnerships and they're not making money. A lot of other partnership structures that I've seen, one of the drawbacks is once you're a business owner and you're wealthy and you've made money for 20, 30 years, you put somebody in a partnership and you want to do a yearly share or quarterly, and that partner is their first time getting involved in a piece of ownership in the business, they can't wait a whole year to get paid. They can't just get paid 4 times a year. Doing it monthly is very, very important, and having a schedule. So we do it the first Friday of each month. So let's say you own a piece of one of our restaurants. That bank account has $100,000 today. At the end of the month, on the first Friday, that bank account now has $200K. We take $100,000, we chop it up, 2% is yours, so you get a check for $2,000. So we do that every single month. Very simple. We don't do all this crazy math on the No, what's in the bank account the first Friday of each month, and how much can we share? And we are very aggressive, and we share as much as we can. And the company, or the parent company that owns 90% of the business, we take that 90% and reinvest it into new locations, which is creating new opportunity.
Okay, so what about in terms of expectation? So what are the deal breakers that can cause you to lose partnership? Are you clear about that?
Yeah, if you get fired for doing something terrible, that will get you fired out of any job. Yeah.
Are there things that you work into the agreement to hold partners accountable?
Yes.
Like what?
Basically, working with us full time, obviously. That the partnership is not transferable or sellable, and stipulations in the contract that you cannot get fired for obvious reasons, and obviously in order to get fired you have to get written up a few times, and eventually. But yeah, if you do something, if you steal or something bad.
I'm sure this is what you hired the lawyers, so I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, but it's as simple as possible. Yeah. We keep the contract as simple as possible.
Got it. So, have we pretty much unpackaged partnership program? Is there anything else?
Over the surface, yeah. I mean, the basics, but just the idea is it's finding a number that makes sense for your business and creating opportunity. We have another business, which we started first, the cafe, and the numbers are different there. Obviously, the sales are not the same as Rreal Tacos. So the partnerships, the percentages are different in that business. It has to be a meaningful amount of money for people that are very invested in the business, right? That's what I believe. And whatever number you decide on, if you put that equity and give it to your best people who are outperforming, is that going to increase your business by more than the percentage you are giving? Yeah, for sure.
Got it. So let's talk about WTF Wednesdays.
What the fuck Wednesdays?
Yeah. So what was the inspiration for this?
It was every department now needs to know roughly not too much, but what is going on in every other side of the, of the business. I mean, we have over 300 people now. So it's 12 or 15 of us that sit in this same table, and we start from one side and a minute or two each. This is what's going on with my side of the job. I have this vendors and this rebates and this and this vendor is not showing up. Okay, next accounting. Oh, this P&L and I'm missing this, and this manager is not sending the invoices on time. And then we move on to next. So that way, every single person who is touching the business every single day has a sense of what's going on in a department that they're not really involved. But I kind of know what's going on with accounting. I kind of know what's going on with catering. That way we're not disconnected. And it's just 1 hour.
So nobody's in a silo.
Yeah. It's just 1 hour to kind of reconnect. And we do it every single week. Because if you don't do this for, months, then you have no idea who is your imagine if accounting didn't know who was the catering manager, and accounting didn't know who was the director of a beverage and things like that, and that could happen.
What I'm thinking about is the tension that's always between the front of house and back of house, right?
Yes.
Different departments, and they just become numbers on a spreadsheet, and so and so over there is not doing their job. But when you get together and you're forced to talk about things instead of just looking at numbers or hearing through the grapevine, it humanizes the business a little bit.
100%.
I love that.
I think it's all about getting people together. Have you noticed this is our office? There's no walls.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just a big box.
Yep.
And every desk is here. And the day we transition to a big office, we're going to do the same, have a big box. And that way everybody can talk to each other. You don't have to like go to a room and everybody's isolated. You know, everybody can talk. There's no secrets here.
Yeah.
You know?
So where was the inspiration for this? Like where did somebody else doing What the Fuck Fridays or?
No. So, okay. That's funny you say that. Yes and no. First of all, we needed it. And the name, is it, who does What the Fuck Friday? What was the video? Dana, what does he do? Okay, so Dana White was doing Fuck It Friday.
Dana White?
Yeah, from the UFC.
Okay.
Fuck It Friday. And I was like, that's cool. What the fuck Wednesday? And because, you know, we had a meeting that Wednesday and it stayed. But it's really like WTF, what's going on this week? And it could be any topic in your department.
So how is this different from your Monday meeting?
The Monday meeting is very KPI with the managers at each location. So we drive to 4 restaurants on Monday, another 2 on Tuesdays. Now it's going to be 3 on Tuesdays. And it's a meeting with each manager and their team. So it's the bar manager, the assistant manager, the manager, and the chef, and sometimes the second in charge of the kitchen.
Got it.
And the shift leader. So that is a team. That is a meeting for each restaurant, and we just focus on you. The Wednesday meeting is just for the office and is very informal.
So it's more of an executive level type stuff.
Yeah, but we keep it like you can say whatever you want.
Got it.
Whatever happened this week in your department.
Are you guys going to all the on-site meetings? So Monday and Tuesday, you guys are doing 4 weekly meetings?
Miguel does it all the time, and I try to do it once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm mostly dealing with a lot of construction and other things. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's really important. I think your relationship is a shining example of staying in your lanes, and you're the founder, safe to say, right, Damian?
No, with the founder is Adrian Villarreal.
Well, you're the CEO.
Yes. Yeah, we bought the company in 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. So
we had a 1 unit. Yeah.
So as the CEO, as the owner, but you guys, there's multiple owners, but as the CEO, I think it's important to build layers between you and the work. Like, would you be able to be working on focusing on scaling and site selection and all this other stuff if you didn't have your right man at hand, Miguel, going and keeping tabs on the people? No
way. And Miguel couldn't even breathe, and if he didn't have Leo and Wilson and all these people. Yeah.
So continuous layers even beyond the two of you.
All the way, yes.
And when, like, you've been around, like, when did you have the title COO? Back when I was here the first time, right?
Yeah.
So that was only a year in?
Yeah, we're just 2 idiots that like took 2 titles.
No, but I think it's so important because people have struggled. Myself included, I'm struggling on scaling Restaurant Unstoppable because I've been trying to do everything like on my own, like an idiot. And like I talk to people like you, and I'm like, why haven't I tried just creating layers, like just taking a leap? Like you gotta like just do it, right? And that's what I love about you guys is you just go for it and like you figure it out.
It kind of goes back to what I was talking to you about, you know, as far as management is concerned. You know, at first ask a question, what are you good at and what do you like to do? You know, and it was just kind of like a coin toss. Hey, right. Everything you like to do is CEO stuff.
Right.
And everything that I like to do is operations. So like that deals with people. Yeah. And that's kind of how we decided, right? Obviously our roles are, sometimes you wear multiple hats, and there's times where, you know, if he goes on vacation, it's you know, myself with Wilson and everybody else has to be the CEOs, right? And we see exactly what it is that he has to do on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah. So how do you find how do you just attract onto yourself these people? Like, do you put it out? Are you constantly communicating what you need?
Yeah, having great culture in the company, first of all, it's very important, right? It helps us that we are the new guys, so it's a sexy company. Yeah. Look at these guys; they're doing it. They're giving out partnerships. They have no money, but they're finding a way to do it. It's just a fun story. So we attract good people, and having the vision, first of all, and actually not bullshitting around with the opportunity. Like it's really, really happening, and we keep saying it day by day and promising, but we're also delivering. And once it happens to one person, 2, 3, 4, then you realize, okay, people now are gonna come and
Yeah.
join
You
the
said
team.
like the thing that scares me about just doing this and bringing people on is not having the money. Like a fear of if I bring these people on, I won't be able to afford them, and then I won't hold up my end of the deal.
Yes.
Right?
Well, the way we have done it is by this gut feeling of like, oh my God, we need somebody. We need somebody right now because we are maxed out, and that happens. That happens since day one. I mean, when we took over the concept, there was a QSR. We changed it to full service right away, and within 2 weeks, we were like, oh my God, we need a host.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we need another bartender, and it's been the same gut feeling of like, it's time right now. To add more people to the team, and it hasn't stopped ever since. Now it's just bigger positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we do bring in big players, they do a 2-week training where they start washing dishes on the first day.
Yeah.
So they still understand what the company's about from all the way, from dishwashing to prepping to the bar to then managing.
I love that. So proper planning. That was the other thing that we were going to discuss. How has that evolved since the last time I talked to you?
Well, a lot. I mean, last time we met, we were just like, okay, tomorrow Cinco de Mayo, and now we're getting ready for Cinco de Mayo 3 months before. And we have amazing people in our team who are very good at planning, like Wilson and Michelle and so on. It has been luckily by finding the right people, and all these people are smarter than us. And they really start planning before we tell them, hey, we should start planning for this. And they have been working on it for a month.
There's a lot of parallels between Restaurant Unstoppable and Rreal Tacos right now, if I'm being honest, like where you guys are at and like a lot of it's resonating with me because I'm feeling the same struggles. Business is business at the end of the day, whether you're a restaurant or you're a podcast. But like one of the whole reasons why I'm living in a camper, why I'm choosing to live this lifestyle is to free up cash flow so I can get the people, so I can hire the who's and surround myself with the technicians to do all the stuff I should not be doing. You guys saw me setting up these cameras today. I should not be doing that. I should not be editing. I should not be doing social media. I should not be doing this stuff. So I'm trying to free up cash flow by limiting my liabilities so I can. And the other variable that is the planning is that it's so much just to get the 2 episodes a week that if I just live on the road full time, I can finally get content scheduled 3 months into the future so I can put a plan together. And that's what I'm really excited about. I'm out here. I mean, it's fun to talk about what I'm doing sometimes just to give the listeners a little behind the scenes of what's going on and why I'm doing these things. But it's also just fun to relate to what you guys are going through.
Is this your first episode in the that you?
You are the 3rd episode I've recorded because I drove down from New Hampshire. I stopped in Brooklyn. And I stopped in Charleston.
Great.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You're the 4th episode. I stopped in Brooklyn. I stopped in Greenville, North Carolina, and I stopped in Charleston. This is my 4th stop.
Well, it looks amazing, by the way. This guy showed up here in a camper. You've been doing this for the industry now for 10 years.
I'm stoked, dude. It's surreal.
And there's so much that we have learned from listening to your podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. It's fun. I have a blast. I get to talk to really cool people every day, and they feed me really well, too.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I get weird talking about me. Let's go back to you guys. So let's talk about tech and then marketing, how that's evolved over the past 2 or a year and a half. And then I also want to talk about like the future. I want to think about I want to start visioning with you guys and dreaming of not just where you're going.
We have to interrupt today's episode to let you know that every 2nd and 4th Thursday of the month at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, Restaurant Systems Pro CEO Fred Langley is going live to teach you everything you need to know to run a profitable restaurant from soup to nuts. All you got to do is click the link below.
We're back. And so the last time I was here, we talked a little bit about tech. We talked about you were using Toast. You were starting to use Ovation. I saw you were on the Ovation podcast too.
Yes.
Was that new since the last time I was here?
That was after, yeah.
Okay.
With Zach.
Zach is the man.
He's something else. I love him.
He's a character, man. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
For sure. And has anything changed with Toast or Ovation in terms of the way you're using those platforms?
No, we use Ovation. Ovation is great because you can set it up where we'll send a text message to an online order after they pick it up. And if they like it, they can leave a review. If they don't like it, they can talk to you. So every time we do make a mistake, we refund or whatever we do to make the customer happy. Ovation also has a little tent that you can put on the table, and the customer can talk to you while they're sitting at the table, which also helps a lot. So yeah, we still use Ovation. We love it.
Number one customer feedback platform out there.
Yes.
Love Ovation. Go ahead.
I would love if they could let you know which table is talking to you, but that will require a different QR for each table, and it'd be too much. SoulLink, but Ovation is great. SoulLink we use for cameras.
So how do you spell that?
SOLINK.
Okay.
SoulLink.
Okay.
We starting to use it. We like it a lot. I think it's very fitting for a restaurant. We're doing anywhere 16 to 22 cameras per restaurant. We're going to do more eventually. So SoulLink for cameras, we do like.
Yeah, 100% buy cameras if you're working in the restaurant industry. It's so important.
Yes, you can never have enough cameras for sure. We're going to start trying out Sunday. It's a pay app. We're going to try that. We can give an update on our next podcast.
What do you mean by a pay app? Like by paying your employees?
It's an app that you can scan and pay your ticket, your order at the end of your dinner.
Hit me with the name of that again.
Sunday. Yeah,
I think
headquarters are here.
Okay, I think they might have recently reached out to me. Let me just check my email. Keep going.
So Sunday.
I'm gonna listen with one ear.
I believe it's great, so we're going to try it out. Then obviously for our POS, we use Toast. Toast is the best POS with the best technology with the worst customer service. But we love them. I mean, there's no number two. Their technology is just great.
Yes, they did reach out to me. Sorry, but bookmark what you just said. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't listening because Sunday sounded so familiar. Sunday just reached out to me, and they want to work with Restaurant Unstoppable. I'm like, yo, hold on. No one's recommended you on the show yet. We need to. And Fred Castellucci's working with them.
Yes, a lot of concerts are working with them. And what we've been attracted to is that they pay for their chargebacks and things like that.
So what is? Doesn't Toast offer an option for like a QR code at the bottom of the receipt?
Yes, but Sunday's a sexier way of paying.
What makes it sexy?
It's just
more
better
curvy?
once you scan. Yeah, it's just better. It just looks better when you scan it. Also, you can get it for a cheaper rate.
Okay.
The non-card present rate for Toast is like
got it
1% higher.
But I think they're actually I want to say they are a United Kingdom.
Yes, they're
in the UK.
I think it's from France or somewhere.
Well, there's a really successful restaurateur who started this company.
Yes.
And it spun out. So I was talking to them, and I play hard to get when it comes to sponsors because I'm always afraid about being a sellout. So thank you so much for. I didn't talk to you about this.
Oh, they're great. No,
yeah.
They're great. We met up with them. They're great. They're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Their division here in the States is here.
I'll be happy to let them know that there's a good testimonial coming their way. Thank you for that.
So after Sunday, we have Toast. Toast is we hate and love Toast.
Why do you hate Toast?
Their customer service is terrible, but they're so good. Their software is so good. There's no number two. That's the problem with Toast. There's no number two. They're so far ahead in everything that they're a number one, number 2, 3, 4, 5. There's nothing even
checked
close.
out Spot On?
No, it's too late. We're not going to change. We're just going to.
You're committed.
Deal with.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Has their customer service gotten better? Because I know the pandemic hit them hard. They pushed hard to scale, and I think they might have overextended at a really bad time, expecting massive growth. They also went public. Let's be honest.
Also, the way they do their billing. You have 6 tablets, and they're billing you for 9 tablets for a year. Things like that, but it's great. I mean,
so there's issues just communication. They're overcharging, or is that like a minimum amount of tablets you need to have?
I mean, it's hard to change invoices and so on. I wish they had better communication, and they will make decisions quicker. But other than that, I mean, we love it. 7 shifts. We use 7 shifts for scheduling.
Yeah. So they've actually evolved a lot over the past year and a half since I've been on the show. I want to say.
Yeah, I've heard.
Are you still using them the same capacity you were a year and a half ago, or has that changed?
We're probably adding some more, but yeah.
Wilson, are you in charge of this stuff? He keeps on looking over his shoulder.
Wilson,
don't be shy. You can walk up here.
He's a tech guy. He knows he knows Toast better than Toast.
What are your thoughts on Toast, Wilson?
Toast,
Do you have anything you want to
Toast calls him to fix things.
Get up here.
Come, Wilson.
You can't hear in the headset, but
This
get
is-
close to that mic for me.
Controversial. What do you think about Toast?
I honestly think Toast is the best thing on the market right now. There's nothing like it.
Get right up on that mic. Tickle it with your lips. You don't have to
There you
literally,
go.
but there you go. So what is it about Toast that you love?
It's simple. You can work everything on the back end. I know that some POSs you have to call and wait for them to make changes for you. When this one, you can operate a whole menu or make changes for the restaurant on your phone. Things that would take days to fix with other POSs, you could do it in seconds. You know, once you get the hang of it.
So like the user interface, just the being able to engage with it and figure it out as far as like the user experience.
It's just the simplest thing out there, you know. It's hard to explain. You just have to do it yourself sometimes and, you know, understand it. But I mean,
I think that's the answer to most things. Like everything at first is super scary because you don't know what the hell you're doing, and then you figure it out and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then there's the next row back and you're like, oh shit. Then you figure it out and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. But it sounds like Toast is intuitive and like in terms of like it's not a heavy or a big mountain to get over. You can figure the little things out.
So before doing restaurants, I did construction, and then one day Damian was like, "Here, figure this out." And I was like, "All right, I guess I'll figure it out."
So what about 7 shifts? Are you in charge of playing with that too?
Yeah, I do the integrations for most of the things. For 7 shifts, when I first did it, it was night and day. I remember me and Miguel used to do schedules on paper, and then we would text everybody their schedule. But now, like when we saw 7 shifts, you know, you could just do it all at once. You could see it. The people who work together can see their schedules, who's working with who. So it makes everything very easy.
Love it. Anything else you want to share in terms of tech in the restaurant?
Nah, not right now.
Thanks, Wilson. I appreciate you stepping up. What else do you have on your list there, Damian?
I have a few more here. This is a fun one. Placer AI.
Placer AI.
So it's like a real estate. You know, you can find a lot of things and demographics and population and so on. It's very, very expensive.
I think I've heard that before mentioned on the show. That sounds familiar.
Placer AI, yes.
So what does it do for you?
You can look up restaurant chains and see which one performs the best. You can look up any address and see how many visitors they have per month, per year, up to 2017. So you can go back in time. You can see a lot of data. It's very expensive.
I've heard that.
And very negotiable.
So what lever or like what kind of wiggle room do you have to negotiate? What advice do you have in negotiating?
Well, everything here is negotiable. I think we have deals with most of these companies. I will also advise that everything with Uber Eats and DoorDash is extremely negotiable.
Give us some advice on how to negotiate with some of these platforms.
You make them fight one versus the other. You start some beef and you hey, go fight. And you start, bouncing prices back and forth. And you see how low they'll go, and then you take a deal. So, yeah, a lot of this things are very negotiable. Placer AI is great. It's actually too much information. It will blow your brains
You're a
out.
numbers guy. What's the most valuable information that they provide?
Okay, so let's say I want to put a company I love, Cava, right? I love their story. It's amazing. According to Placer AI, it says that there's 15 Cavas in Georgia. It will rank them from number 1 to number 15 in the state, and how many visitors it has per month. So would I want to put one of my locations next to the number 1 Cava? We'll look at it, things like that. I mean, you can put every taco chain and see.
So success leaves a trail. You can use this platform to look at what the most successful people are doing and find out which of their locations are doing the best.
Yes, if you're a data nerd like I am, then yes, it will make sense to spend the money and do that.
It's kind of like the Lowe's approach.
Yeah.
They let Home Depot spend all the money doing the market research and then just opened right next to them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Then you have a Margin Edge that we use. That's for uploading invoices and inventory counts, and it shows you recipes and so on. Then we use MailChimp when you want to send emails or text people. And then my favorite by far is Google Sheets. I make a sheet for everything in my life.
I heard you're a freak in the sheets.
I am. Yes. Everything in my life is has a Google Sheet for just about everything. I probably make one every day. So that's my favorite.
Nice.
And there's probably more tech that we use, but those are some of the ones, the companies that we work with and we would recommend.
So Margin Edge is a sponsor. Let's give them some love. Go deeper there.
Margin Edge, I don't use it myself every day, but everybody seems to love it.
What do they say? Why do they love it?
Because they're a sponsor. No, just kidding.
Wilson, get up on this.
Wilson, come back. No, so Margin Edge, yeah. I mean, we use it every day to upload invoices. At this point, we couldn't really operate and have. We do like a weekly P&L, pretty much, and we're fighting with managers every day. Hey, put your invoice on Margin Edge. That is the number one thing that we use for inventory tracking and prices when they go up and down. I was trying to, the other day I logged in, and I don't even use it. And within 90 seconds, I pulled up a report of how many tortillas we buy every month. And I don't even use it. So I mean, you can see a lot of data. It is very, very useful when it comes to tracking your goods.
Got it. Have you ever checked out like an enterprise solution? Is that something that's on your, as you scale? Do you think you're going to need to change your tech stack?
I think we will just keep adding, and whatever works we'll keep, and whatever doesn't work we'll move on. But we love tech, so whatever's new and whatever's cool, we'll try it.
All right, so we unpackaged tech. I feel like we did a good job there. We gave some sponsor love. We opened the door for potential new sponsors. Thank you very much. And marketing. So when I last spoke to you, you said Instagram is number one. Is that still the case?
Yes, Miguel loves handling a lot of the marketing stuff. But yeah, social media, Instagram is number one. Collaborations with foodies, and we spend a lot on marketing. 2% of all of our revenue goes into marketing. So whatever we make, 2% goes into a different bank account, and we just light it up on fire.
Do you use profit first, like cash flow management principles?
No.
So, but you do use checking accounts to allocate cash.
Oh, we have like 43 accounts. Yeah.
Where'd you learn about that?
So we spend a lot of money, everything that comes in, right? As an insurance policy to ourselves, spending so much money so quickly, basically everything that comes in, we have separate accounts for Uber. So all of our Uber money goes into a separate account.
Okay. So it's cash flow management. You're basically using the envelope system, but with checking accounts.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So going back to that Uber account, we have, each restaurant has its main account and then the Uber Eats account, right? All the Uber money goes into that account. And then whenever we're a little bit tight on money, we turn around and go to the other bank account in a different bank, and we find extra money. So we're never really too bad, but yeah, we are very tight. And I will also recommend, it has worked amazing for us, find a small bank that you can work with. We work with like the smallest bank in Georgia, and I guess we're a big client for them. And you get a good treatment, and you can talk to anybody in the bank through text messages. So I guess that could be another option for a lot of people. I know if you call we do have bank accounts with Bank of America, but if you call, it's going to take you an hour or two.
Yeah, and if you're using a lot of different checking accounts too, some banks will charge you to open a new account, or they'll have like a minimum amount, and that's negotiable for the most part too.
Yeah.
So is that something you've run into?
We went with our first bank that was recommended, and it was a small bank, and it has been nothing but love. So.
Give them some love.
Southern First.
Okay.
This guy's Southern First. Have him here.
Southern First.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Great. So
do you want to talk about marketing?
I mean, I can chime in.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said 2% of everything goes towards marketing.
Yeah. Whatever you sell. For us, whatever we sell at the end of the month, we take 2% of all the revenue, and it goes into a separate bank account, and then we just burn it like
$36,000 a year.
No. So let's say this month we sell 2 million, right? 2 point something. We're gonna take $40,000 and put it in a bank account.
Okay.
Just for this month, and then we're gonna say, okay, now we got 40 grand. How much is going to Google? How much is going to Facebook? And how much is going to foodies? And let's just light it up on fire.
Okay. So like, how would you? So if it's approximately $40,000 a month, 2% of sales.
Yeah. Right now we're selling $2.5 million a month. So we're gonna have anywhere from 40 to 50K a month.
So how do you allocate that within those? Like, how does it get diced up? How much of it is going to Facebook ads? How much of it is going to influencers?
If depending on the price of influencers and depending how much time we have to deal with all the influencer campaigns, right? Depending on what the return feels like on Google, some money goes there. Most of the money is going to go to Facebook Meta ads, Instagram ads. Right now, we're having like 750K impressions a month. That it's accounts per month that we're having impressions on. So it's a big number. And then we deal with foodies, and Miguel does most of the foodie stuff. It is time consuming. We have done events with 20, 30 foodies where we're bringing all the foodies in town that want to do a free collaboration, and we throw a party for them, and they all post. And we have a host that we pay that can handle all of it, and then we do the rest of the work. And then you have your top foodies. And some of the foodies, how much are some of the foodies? $1,000, $1,500?
Yeah, about $1,000, $2,000. You know,
And what do you get for that?
I mean, you're getting organic engagement. You know, because I mean, as
Is it organic if they're paying $1,000?
It's their audience. I mean, at the end of sometimes you pay somebody $1,000 and they post a video and you get 150,000 views.
Yeah.
That is 2 stadiums packed to the ceiling watching a video for $1,000. It is worth it.
And then you're saving time as well. I mean, content creation. I mean, you're creating content, right?
Yeah.
So it's time consuming. You know, so you get to hand off that responsibility to somebody else. You're putting money in their pocket.
How much time would you say they put into promoting you?
And to promote, I mean, when they come in, they shoot content. They're there for about an hour, 2 hours, you know, and they make a cool reel. You know, right now, if you're not making reels on Instagram, then you're going the wrong route in marketing. So I mean, I see restaurants sometimes that post a picture, and I'm like, wow, that's very sad. Why would you do that? You're gonna get 4 likes.
Yeah.
So you know, the impact of a reel also is gonna be based on, you know, what you attach it to. For example, trending audio. You know, the shelf life of anything that's trending, anything that goes viral, nowadays it lives for hours. I'll give an example. Super Bowl Sunday. We knew that something was going to happen Super Bowl Sunday. So, you know, we had the whole content team looking at the Super Bowl to see what was going to happen. And sure enough, it was a halftime show. It was Alicia Keys and Usher. And within a few minutes after the halftime show, there was memes that were popping up. So we just got a picture of one of our restaurants. It was a Chambly location, and we posted a picture of Usher and Alicia Keys, and that post got so much engagement right after the Super Bowl that engagement would not have been felt 2 or 3 days after. So So understanding what's going on with marketing is very important. So I'm not saying you have to make memes. You just got to understand that, hey, this is popping right now. So we are always sharing information amongst each other, you know. So it's a mandate. If you work for Rreal Tacos, it doesn't matter whether you're a busser, whether you're working up in the office, you gotta share content with us, because the idea that you have might be the next thing that changes his business. You know, I'll give an example. We have this taco feast that we just came out with, and it's a bunch of meat just on a platter. Wilson, I think we said his name like 50 times now, but
he's still here.
Yeah. He shared it with. He said, "Hey, I think this is gonna go viral." And then sure enough, we tried it. Right, and the taco platter. I think he showed us that as well. So it's a collaboration between everybody, right?
And I love that idea of bringing everybody in, and it's really opening up. It's like a battery, right? Your brain is a battery, and when you connect your battery to a bunch of other batteries, you have more potential energy. You have more, like, there's more potential for creativity there.
We're a Cybertruck.
Don't isolate your brain, your battery. Connect your battery. Tap into all that energy.
100%.
I think restaurant owners are afraid of marketing and marketing budgets. And when you look at marketing budgets, I look at it as a cost of manufacturing, right? Once you market and you spend money on marketing, your sales go up, and which means now your labor goes down just because there's more productivity, because there's more product being sold. Your cost of occupancy, rent, and so on goes down just because there's more sales. Once you add a marketing budget, every other number drops. But people are very, especially the old school mentality, they're very, very scared of marketing. They're so scared that we are conservative with our own marketing, because it's not the standard in the industry of going, you know, a small little company in Atlanta spending 40, 50 grand a month in marketing. That sounds crazy. And I think we're making a mistake. I think we should be spending 100 grand a month in marketing. I think we should double up. And we'll think about it, because I think is undervalued. I mean, every dollar you put in marketing, you save it somewhere else because you sell more. It's a cost of manufacturing.
I mean, your major corporations put up to 40%, close to 50% of total revenue into marketing.
Yeah, some of the big ones, yeah, but local restaurant groups, they don't.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
We have a marketing company, and when we tell clients, what's their marketing budget, they're like, oh, $500 a month.
Yeah, what's going on with your marketing company? Is that still kicking, or is it just strictly your own client?
No,
are you your own client?
We started as our own client, and we hired a kid who had a potential. It turned out to be amazing. He has a team of over 40 people now. Wow. A lot of people overseas.
So you own the company, he works for you, or does he partner?
He's partners with me and Miguel.
Okay.
And it was just like a side thing, and the kid was amazing, so it took off. And
Good
now we have a lot of clients all over the state. The way it works is you start posting your own content, and then you get very busy as a restaurant owner, and you stop posting. But then you realize, posting was going good, and the marketing was good. I just can't do it anymore. And we offer a service. Look, for 1% of your revenue, we'll do the marketing for you. And most restaurants that we work with do, $200K, $250, $300K a month. So it's $2,000 to $3,000 a month per location. And it works out great because they don't have to do the work. We do all the content and editing and website and anything technology for them.
It's funny you mentioned that, because something that we've been talking a lot on, I think that the role of marketer, like digital marketer, is going to be like, you see a lot of like chef front of house hosts, chefs. Like, I think the new digital marketer is the new front of house host. As the front of house gets less hands-on and more like fast casual pickup, or like more counter service, like you're more of that front of house becomes more digital. You're really the new front of house is the first impressions. The digital is the first impression. Yes. And you need that person who's a partner who is just present always on social media. I think.
How do you have a restaurant and 50 people work there, and not one of them is full-time social media?
Right. So I actually, like, Pop-Up, right? I just recently interviewed a Pop-Up. Amazing chef, well-known in the Seacoast area, Matt Berry. He had a fine dining pop-up called Dahlia, and they spun off another pop-up, which is a pizza pop-up. And his first business partners in his business are two marketers. He does pop-ups, he makes pizza, and and especially as a pop-up, you need that digital presence because you don't have the storefront. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, marketing. I think it's, even if you're older restaurant owner, find someone in your team who knows and loves social media and pay him a few bucks a month.
If you're listening to this and you love marketing and you want to travel the country and interview successful restaurateurs, hit me up, because I need help marketing. I'm just going to put it out there. The last time I did this, I said I needed a community manager. Callan Miola answered the call.
Great.
And she's fucking killing it. I need to start doing this more often, because I find whenever I ask for help and I just put it out there, people respond. So if you believe in this mission and you want to help Restaurant Unstoppable and you love marketing, I'm traveling the country, I need a network of marketers, hit me up. Eric@restaurantunstoppable.com, because I do not like marketing. I'm not going to lie.
It works.
It's important. I call it a necessary evil. I try to stab holes in it whenever I can to see if I can make it sink. I just can't. I don't want to accept it, but it's so necessary.
It is.
Anyway, I feel like I'm crying like a little baby right now.
You're fine. So what else we got going on in the industry?
I mean, what do you guys want to talk about? So what about the future? Let's wrap it up. Start talking about the future. Where are you guys headed? Where's the industry headed? What do we need to do? How can we go into the industry? Into the future intentional?
Okay, what will somebody who goes out to eat, or somebody who goes to a restaurant, what are they going to want in 10 years? What do you think?
I think that we're moving into the transformation economy, and people want to be better versions of themselves. Is that too deep?
Yes.
Sorry.
When you go to a restaurant, what do you really want? Is it going to
experience?
Right, experience. What else? Good food,
convenience,
time. Yeah,
efficiency,
relationships. Yeah, great service, great ingredients.
I don't think
that's not going to change.
Right.
So I think if we focus on that, and 10 years from now, are you going to want to pay more, or are you gonna want good value?
I hope that the future is a little more intentional with value, and the conscious capitalism is on the rise, where people will choose to give more of their money to the restaurant industry. That's what I hope. But do you think that's the case or not?
I think people are gonna want decent prices and great food and quick, as you said, and great service. I don't think those things are gonna change, and I think we should focus on that. It'll be hard to, unless we get another pandemic, it's not going to happen. I think the industry, it's going to be the same. People are going to want the same things 10 years from now. Whereas in other industries, podcasting wasn't a thing 15 years ago.
Right.
Right. Audiobooks were not a thing, before Audible. So a lot of industries, they change quickly and new things come in. But I think when it comes to eating, people are really going to want good food, a quick, good service, and a good value. That's what we're going to focus on. And other than that, our vision for our company is how can we get to 100 million without having debt, and 100 million a year in revenue, and making a lot of opportunity for our chefs and our managers and directors and general partners and so on. Without it being too hard, without having to catch a flight every 3 times a week, and how can we make it fun? We talk about the taco rally. One day we're gonna do the taco rally. We're all gonna have exotic cars and race cars, and we're gonna go to Nashville and then go to Charlotte, then come back, and then go to Florida, all as a team. We just want to have fun. How can we make money selling a great product, creating opportunity, and having fun? That's the only thing we care about, because we are obsessed with this business. Like, we are mentally just obsessed with this. And everybody who works here is as well. So why not all do it all together and have a lot of fun? So far, it's been so much fun. There's nothing I want to do other than this. I don't care. You can tell me I got front row seats to an NBA game. I don't care, because I can go downstairs to the restaurant and it's more fun.
Yeah.
So why would I do something else?
Do you believe in this statement? In order to exist in the future, you're going to have to learn how to do more with less?
In order to exist in the future, do more with less. What would that mean?
You're going to have to learn to lean on more technology and automation, and basically less on people, because the cost of labor going up, the cost of goods going up. You have to basically just be more efficient.
Yeah, you have to be more efficient. That's why 7 shifts, we can do 10 schedules and through an app, and we don't have to have 10 people creating schedules on paper and sending it out as it would have happened 4 decades ago.
Are you going to be strictly focusing on the in-store experience, or would you be willing to, say, create like a ghost kitchen where you do pick-up and delivery only?
No.
Or just delivery only for like throughput?
No, delivery is good. We do a high volume on delivery, and we are now focusing a lot on takeout packaging. If takeout is a big percentage, I think we should focus a lot on packaging. But no, the experience of the customer will be number one. So, they're going to come back again. And
what about your website? Has that updated? Because you guys you were really proud of your website the last time I was here.
we update it often. Yeah, it gets better.
You're still designing your own website?
Yes, we do. We do our own website through our own company, Resto Experience, who does the marketing and the websites.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you think the digital world is going to change in terms of your experience with the consumer?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure what's coming on the digital end, but yeah, it is changing now. Online ordering is a big percentage of our sales, and that wasn't there before.
Right. So do you think that's something you're going to be able to manage in-house, or you're going to outsource eventually?
I don't know if we're going to get into e-commerce, unless we do it for catering. We've been thinking about doing e-commerce for catering, but I think our main focus is going to be growing the restaurant company, and then we're going to use other tools that are out there in the market already. I think once you start focusing too much, a lot of operators, they focus so much on creating something or creating a new distribution for this or for that. When you can just open up another restaurant if you already have a chain, and with the extra money you can hire every other company that you need as far as technology or so on. That's kind of where we're leaning right now, and that's today. Maybe 5 years from now it'll be a different discussion, but right now the only thing that matters is opening up more Rreal Tacos.
Got it. Miguel, future thoughts. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm with Damian. I mean, 100%. Focusing on the customer experience, but more than anything else, I mean, I think a good company is made up of happy people, right? And just, you know, when you think about the customer experience, then I think that your team also has to have a good experience. They have to have a healthy working environment, and the only way you do that is by listening to people. You know, right now we're listening to a lot of the bottlenecks that we're having, you know, and, you know, we're hopefully in the future going to be rolling out benefit programs, which is something that's very important to people just in general. So these are just little examples of numerous things that we're gonna implement, you know, as we grow. But I think that in order to focus on, you know, creating a healthy company and a long-standing company, and a company that's going to keep attracting customers, you got to think from you know, from both users, right? Okay, who works with us, who helps us with the day-to-day operations, but also who puts money in our pocket, and that's the customer.
Yeah.
And then everything in between, I think that it'll just kind of fix itself.
I can get behind that. So what is one thing about your business, a value, a process, a system that's uncommon and makes you truly unstoppable?
Growth.
Growth.
Our focus is growth, which creates opportunity, which attracts amazing individuals and allows us to try new things. Every time we open a new location, we try something new.
Mm.
And if it's a good idea and it takes off, we go back and replicate it in old locations.
Can you grow too much?
Yes, for sure.
Where is that point for you?
We're going to push the boundaries and see how far we can take that. As long as we're out of debt, I'm not afraid.
Got it. You were going to say something else?
No.
Okay. So the mission statement is to change the world by inspiring, empowering, and transforming the industry. So how have you both personally transformed in the past few years? Who are you today versus when you were before you guys started doing this?
I think we're more focused, a little bit more mature, and we are learning to delegate our time better day by day. We're still amateurs at this, but we are learning that we should delegate, obviously, as we grow. And we understand that we are not very good at this. We were just lucky that this concept took off and that amazing people are willing to believe in our vision. And I just want to say for everybody listening, because a lot of our team is listening, because half of our team listens to your podcast.
Thank you for
I mean, last time you came, you walked into the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Nobody knew that you were coming. And you walked into one of our restaurants, and people are like, Eric. So our team loves you.
Thanks for the love,
Yes,
Real Taco. I love you guys, too.
I just want to say to our team, we love you guys. We're going to continue to create opportunity. We will 100% have your back. We are, as we say, we have the best taco team. These guys are warriors. We're going into war every single day. We are going to win. We're going to reach our next goals, which would be developing our project through the Southeast. And we're going to continue to create opportunity. And then for you, we have a gift as well. I would love, because what you do is amazing and you inspire a lot of people. Not only that, you give so much information to other restaurant owners that are growing like ourselves. Like I said, I met with a bunch of guys a couple of months ago, and half of them were in your podcast, and I was able to listen to conversations that you had with them before I even talked to these guys, just to be more prepared. And there's no way to pay you back for what you do for the industry, but we have something for you. A little something.
Wait.
Yes. What we want to do as Rreal Tacos, it's just a little something. We want to be a sponsor for just one episode.
Oh, man.
Because what you're doing right now is you're changing the game. I mean,
dude,
how much you put a lot of money into jumping into your truck, and I mean, you guys should see this. The truck is huge, and you have equipment all over it, and it's not a little something from us, but we want to be your sponsor for just one episode. And hopefully other people pay it forward, because what you're doing is amazing for the industry.
I did not know this was going to happen. Do you want me to open this, or do you want me to open it?
Yeah, you can open it. It's nothing crazy.
Thank you.
Just
a check. Am I showing the
yeah,
camera?
it's a little check.
$1,000. Jeez, you guys, this is not necessary. Thank you.
No,
so
it is
much.
necessary.
Thank you.
Does people know? Do these people know what you're doing? That you're driving across the country.
That means so much.
You're
Thank
driving
you so
across the
much.
country recording episodes to give away free information about the restaurant industry.
Thank you.
And as we said when you came in 2 hours ago, you are the Joe Rogan of restaurants.
Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's an ultimate compliment, and this is going to go so far. This is going to help me get to California, so I appreciate you guys. Thank
Let's
you.
go. Let's do it.
Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. And we still have one more question for you.
Oh,
and
man.
Damian fielded this question the last time I was here.
Yeah, terrible.
It was the three things you do. So you ready for this? Do you know what's coming?
I know what's coming.
Okay, so if you got the news, you'd be leaving this world tomorrow. And all the memories of you, your work, and your restaurants were lost with your departure, with the exception of 3 pieces of wisdom that you could leave behind for the good of humanity and for your legacy. What would those 3 pieces of wisdom be? And I'm still like beside myself that you guys did this. Thank you so much, guys. That's so crazy.
Man, number one, something that I firmly believe in, and many people have heard this before: go big or go home. You know, when you realize that the amount of time that it takes to do something is the same amount of time that's going to consume you, whether it's small or big, you're just going to go big, you know? So just might as well just see what happens. You know, like take that leap of faith, you know, trust in people that you normally wouldn't have not trusted.
So that's one.
That's one. Number 2, do everything with intention. You know, just if you're not going to do it 100%, just don't do it.
Then 3.
And number 3, don't forget about the task at hand. You know, big picture thinking.
I love this, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me back here to do a follow-up. When's the next interview going to be?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, let's set a date, and I don't expect a check when I come the next time. Please don't do that. That would be...
We want to support what you're doing, man. It is incredible, and I don't think
you.
people that listen knows what you really go through to put this together. How many hours you drove?
5. Well, I mean, for my last location, 5 hours.
5 hours for one episode.
Yeah. Well, you know, you guys are worth it.
No, but that's amazing, bro.
Because you guys are doing good work, and it's an honor to make an example of what you're doing. And I'm trying to find good people to make an example of. And I'm only as good as the people I get to sit across the table from. So you guys make what I do easy. Thank you so much for giving me a reason to drive the 5 hours. We gave you a chance before to share your contact information. Actually, want to let you call out some people too. You called out Louis, the Cuban restaurateur.
Yes, I can reach out to him.
Yeah, like I just realized I forgot to follow up with him. But who else do you guys have in mind?
Miguel has been talking about somebody that he was trying to put together. Last time, Delbar.
Oh, Forrest
Forrest
Cargar.
Cargar.
Yeah.
He's coming back.
Yeah, so we're hoping that he has his cousin's wedding this
Okay.
weekend that he forgot about.
My
I
favorite
probably
restaurant.
shouldn't have told that out loud. He did not forget about your wedding cousin. He absolutely did not forget about
So
it.
if you can, maybe link up with Forrest again. You know, by far, I think that this guy's, you know, he's a very good human
So
being.
great.
And what he does is cool. You know, I can really resonate with what he's doing.
And you guys told me about Nico too.
Yeah,
So
Nico
about the English.
Karatasis. You know, he's an OG in the business. You know, his family lineage here is well over 40 years, 45 years. I think they started the first restaurant in 1979. So to be 45 years in the game, that's you got to be
That's
doing
crazy.
something right.
Absolutely. And how can we connect? We want to throw out some Instagram handles, emails,
Yes,
websites.
my Instagram is Damian, Damian CEO, and that's what I use the most, I guess. Or my email, Damian@realtacos.com, and don't try to sell me shit. But if you guys want to connect, listen. If you want to talk real estate and expansions and business plans and this. From our last episode, I've connected with a lot of people.
Do people try to sell you shit from the last episode?
No, but they
Okay.
try to sell me stuff every time I go to RFDC and they share my email.
Oh.
Yeah, and my email is Miguel@Rreal Tacos, and then my Instagram handle is at DJReal _ETL. I used to do music before I got into the restaurant business.
Awesome. And guys, I'll be back in 5 years. Because in 5 years, if you're growing by how much every year?
Well, it slows down in percentage wise because you're bigger. But
Right.
yeah, in 5 years, we should be at our goal of 100 mil a year, which is the next step. And then after that, Taco Team, I promise you, after that, we're going to sit down and look at the secondary version 2 of the goal, what's coming next. But we will not fail. And we have the best taco team in the world. You guys are taco mercenaries, and we love you guys.
Awesome. And this is why I say thank you guys so much. There is no questioning. You are unstoppable.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cheers.